Hi guys, this is Si from Si Software. Today we're going to build some stadium seating in Corona with SiClone. So let's sort of get started. I like to work on some smaller areas while I'm working in SiClone. It's just easier. I can see it in full mesh and sort of see what's going on as I'm working away, and then apply it to something bigger in the finished product. But you'll see me do this in sort of all the videos. So first, let's go and add our distribution spline. So we'll go select that. And then we're going to need to put in our concrete ground area where the seats are going to be bolted to or whatnot, our main stadium place. So we'll go select that. Now I'm going to want to shift these around a little bit. So I'm just going to go slide these just so I can get it on the line on the corner of these. And we'll just shift this back a little bit. There we go. Just so I can sort of select that line a little later. It's not buried underneath some geometry. Alright, next thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to throw in some end pieces. So the ends are capped. So let's just go into Objects and we'll select these. We're going to need to make these, we'll select the Make End button. And we'll go ahead and flip these around, so I'll say 90 and oops, nope, probably minus 90, and we'll go down, and it looks like the normals are probably flipped on this, so let's just go, yep, they're flipped. So I'm just gonna go back in here and say update, and you'll see that the geometry looks right now. So you want to check that all the time. If you see something showing up black in SiClone, you want to make sure that just go in and flip to your normals. So let's go slide this one into place, and we'll just kick this back. So that should cap our ends on both ends. And now we can start throwing in our seating. So let's go pick the seating frame first. And we're doing the stadium in individual pattern, not in an ordered pattern, because we're going to be using a whole bunch of different stuff, and we don't want the spacing to be the same on every object. So let's grab our seat, and we're going to need to rotate this around. So let's see, maybe 90, and then we're going to slide it just down and back. And then what we're going to need to do is we're going to adjust its spacing. So let's bring this quite down, probably something like that, looks good. Now you can see our seats are hanging off the end, so we're going to want to do some offset. So let's, oops, not that one. I'm going to slide this down, probably go to, let's see, 37, and I'll do 37 on the other end as well. And we'll just check, see how that looks. We could actually probably just slide that down one more just so we can get enough seats in there. Alright, good. Next thing we're going to probably add is the seat. So let's just add this seat piece. And what we're going to want to do just to make it easier on ourselves is we're going to go copy the settings from the seat holder and paste it to the seat. And you can see they sort of pop into place. Now we can sort of individually just sort of shift these around. So right about there and possibly out a little bit. Alright. They look all exactly the same. We can do a little bit of color variation on those, but I'm going to sort of just say the rotation on these seats. I want to do a variation in that. So I'm going to turn on random. And I'm going to say, I believe it's probably X that I want. Yeah. So let's do possibly 10 to, let's say, -5. Alright, so that gives us a little bit of variation of these sort of seats going up and down. Just makes it look a little more realistic than having all your stuff lined up. Alright, now we can do the, there's going to be a pathway and our next seating area. So let's go, let's put in another SiClone here real quick. And I am going to go select its distribution spline. So we can go select that. And then we'll go put the ground piece in. So let's put our sweep, and it'll be this one. So we're going to want to do the same thing. Probably just line this up so it's below the spline itself. There we go. And we'll just shift this back. That should be good. And now we'll throw in some seats. So same thing. Let's just throw in a, well, actually we'll do our end objects on this first. So let's go through in that. And we'll make this an end object. Let's just go up, and it looks like the normals are flipped on this as well. So let's just double check that. So we'll go into select all the faces and flip. Good. We'll go up to our select our SiClone, and let's just do update objects, and that should be good. All right. So we're going to need to do the same thing. Rotate this around. I think it's -90 was on the other one. Yep. And we'll just sort of place this object in place. So let's just lower this down and shift it back. All right, good. All right, we're set. Now let's throw in our seats. Ooh. A little bit of our object there is flipped. Check that. We'll check that at the end. All right, so let's go and throw in our seats. So we'll do our, oh, I hit copy. Gonna select our seat base and then our seats. So let's do our base first. So we'll do our seat holder. We're gonna need to rotate this. So let's go 90. We will slide this back. So let's just go back there, and we'll slide. You're going to need to bring down the spacing. Let me just make sure it's on the ground. And now we'll bring down our spacing sort of to match what we had on the others. So I'll probably have to do end offset as well. Let me just look at what I had on the seat holders on this. So it's 37. So let me just grab our seat holder, and we'll say 37 and 37. All right, and then our spacing, we can probably bring that down just a little bit. No, that's probably too much. I probably could have copied from the other one, but that's fine. All right, actually, let's just go look what the spacing is, just so it's exact. I'm gonna take this copy, back to our other one, seat holder, and paste. Okay, and now we can take that, we can say copy those settings and paste them to our seat. And we'll want to do the same thing, just adjust our seat, raise that up a little bit, and probably send it out. And then we can put a little bit of variation on that. So we'll turn on random transform, say go down and up. We'll just give it some random numbers. That's good. All right, there's a railing in front of this. So let's go pick this and our railing posts. And we'll actually grab our sweeps as well for our rails. And let's just go up and look at this. All right, so we have our rail ends, so we need to make those end objects. We will also probably have to make these, give them a little offset. So let's just say 15 and 15. And then we're going to need to rotate these. So let's just go 90. Oops. The other way, -90. And let's just slide these back just a hair. So we can go right back, and good. All right, so let's line up our top rail first. So we'll go raise this up and slide this back to where our post is. There we go. And we're gonna need an end offset on this as well. So let's just go slide this down to say 23. And let's copy that to the start offset. Now I'm going to take this settings and say copy, and I'm going to paste these to the small one. And then I'm just going to lower this down. And it should just make it easier for me to line this up. But our end offsets will have to be a little longer. So let's go 28 and copy that 28. Okay, great. Now, the last thing to do is get our railing, our center in there, our little post. So let's just grab that. That's our rail center. You can also rename some of this stuff as well. Like if you're bringing multiple stuff over and over again, that's the same object to be instanced. You can just double click on this and go in and say rename it. Alright, so let's slide this back a little bit. And that looks good. And probably a little bit, we're going to need to set its offset, its spacing offset there. So let's go down and slide this in as well. Say about there. And then we can do its overall spacing just down here, so we can just sort of get what we want. Down at this end, looks like that object is the end spacing on our small rail needs to be longer. So let's just slide that out. What was that? Start. Oops, that's why. I changed the smoothing group instead of our end spacing. So let's just copy that to our end. And is that, am I doing the right one? No, I'm not doing it. Okay, so that's 19, and we'll go copy that 19, and let's slide back. All right, so we're almost there. We can also, if you're doing this for video game stuff and you're worried about polys themselves, you can lower the poly down on these shapes and raise them up as well. If they're using sort of curves. Right now these are probably set to corner knots, so there's no interpolation that you can really change on this. Oh, looks like our post is not long enough, so let's just slide this out. There we go. That's good. Alright, what do we got left? Let's get some steps in here. So let's just make another SiClone real quick. Throw this over here. And we'll do our first piece of steps. So we'll grab our distribution spline, and then we will go and let's grab our piece of geometry, and we'll say these steps, and we'll need to shift these back. So let's just lower these down a little bit and shift them back. And we could probably go do something like put some center rail in here. So let's use 2 of these. So let me just go pick 1 and 2. So same object, and we'll just rename this. Let's just say front. Just so it's easier, we know which one's which. Alright, so let's grab our front one, and we'll, oops, not up, slide it out, and we'll rotate this around so it sort of matches, so 180. We are going to want to set the overall spacing on this to probably, so we only really have one of these in here. So that should be good. What is that? 147. We'll just copy that to here. And then we can, oh, we have one at the beginning. So we can do some offset on this as well. So let's just do start offset to possibly 180. And let's just copy that for the other one. And, oh, not to the beginning, but we'll actually copy that to our other post. So let's go do this. There we go. All right, so it's just a matter of lowering these down now. So let's just go, we'll say, slide this down and then back. Oops. And then do that to the other one. Actually, I'm just going to copy these settings. And I want to make sure that this is in the center, because it's not really in the center. So let's bring this back a little bit. There we go. That should be good. Alright, so let me take those settings, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to paste that to the other one. And then we'll turn off that rotation and just slide it backwards. Alright, so we have just some sort of handrail or something that we can hold on to as we're going down the steps. And the last piece is, let's get in this other step. So let's just go make one more SiClone, and we'll go put in these steps. So let's just go grab our last little spline, and we can go grab our step sweep, and we can just go position this. So let me just go move this down or back, and then we'll just shift it down so we're lined up. All right, that's good. Now we can go throw this on our main geometry. So let me just unhide everything. Unhide all. And we have our main steps. So I'm going to put this in a lower display mode. So let's just go put this in point cloud, I guess, just so it's a little easier to manage. And then we can go ahead and start grabbing our SiClone to put in. So let's grab this first one, and we will grab this distribution spline. And then we'll grab the next one. I'm going to actually put this back into mesh mode so I can sort of see what's going on here. And I'll do the same with the other SiClone here. Just for, oops, I don't want to pick a spline. I want to actually put this in original mode. We can jump up here and then we can add the spline. So let's go throw it in this one. And then we can go grab our steps. So let's grab this SiClone, add the steps, first spline, and then the last SiClone, and we'll put that in here. And there we go, we have our stadium seating. So let's just do a quick little render of this. And we're right now we're using Corona. And you can see we have a full stadium. Light's a little bright, but gives you the idea. All right, let's just stop that for a minute. And that's it. We got a stadium. All right, guys. So thanks for watching. And check out more of our videos on Facebook or at cyanide.com. We have a YouTube channel. Cheers, guys. See ya.